Hi everybody, it's 10th of the 4th, 2025. Just thought I'd just share for a few minutes, just something that's sort of standing out for me at the moment. I've been watching a lot of documentaries. I mean, I always watch a lot of documentaries. I like the food for thought. But Netflix have had a lot of documentaries on lately, and the one that I watched this morning, not all of it, I find it a little bit irritating. People that are doing the stupidest things on YouTube or whatever platform it is they're deciding to go on, and they getting paid ridiculous amounts of money to do this bloody stupid stuff. I mean, I said something probably 5-6 weeks back about you won't get me doing the finger thing, like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff. It's all a competition. It's all competitive stakes. I have nearly spent my entire life trying to stay away from competitive stakes. There's just competition everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And I just felt so sad this morning watching these documentaries about these young kids that were just documenting their everyday life. And yes, they were attractive little girls, or young teenage girls. And there was a couple of lines in there that alluded to the fact that some of the people that were watching them or were friends with them and watching them were men. Pedophiles. Yahoo. It doesn't seem to matter what you do these days. You know, there seems to be some kind of agenda behind it. And that's just so sad. Maybe I've just been a bit blinkered these last several years. High-tech stuff is not something that has been my forte by all means. I mean, a friend of ours was a computer scientist, and he worked for the government and got flown around the world and doing programs for the government, whereas at that stage it would take me 40 minutes to find the on-off button. And I'm not laughing at it, trying to make it funny, because there is nothing funny about it, but it just goes to show my intake or uptake on computers. I just don't understand the solace in being stupid in front of millions of people to get a liking or subscription to be paid for it. I mean, these girls were 13, 12, and at some stage they were earning like $50,000 a month. $50,000. They were the breadwinners in their family. Now, when I grew up, my father was the breadwinner in the family. And as time passed, society has somehow stepped in there and made both mum and dad the breadwinners. in life, or for the family, the format in the family. But now, to have your children, there's a really good one on Netflix, The Frankie Family, Franke. 8 passengers, that's it. And when it all started, I could see in the kids, they were having fun. It was in their eyes. There was life in their eyes. They were enjoying what they were doing, the smiles, the fun. You could see the little dimples where they were laughing and enjoying it. And then a few months later, it's not the same. I could see that they're smiling and whatever, but that life behind the smile was not there. It just was not there. And then the compere would interview the kids, and they would admit to the compere that they'd had enough. It just wasn't fun anymore. It wasn't fun. They loved getting the money. They loved the money for sure. But they hated having to put in the work. But you'd hear, like the mum, I can't remember the mum's name, she'd be so nice saying something to one of her children, and then you'd hear in the background, "Will you kids shut up?" I mean, don't get me wrong, I've done that with my kids at times too, but not while I'm trying to formulate a BS family life and present it out there to get money. I mean, I didn't have a mobile phone until my boy's father and I separated. And I don't know if I just didn't know or I'd completely forgotten the fact that the phone was mine all the way through. So I've had the same number for 30 years. That's a bit unheard of these days, not very often. God, what to share? I don't think I could ever put my children in a position that they had to be the breadwinners in the family. I struggle enough as it is to ask for rent. Well, not. I call it amenities. Amenities. I'm fortunate enough to own my own home. And the boys have got this idea that because I own my own home, they don't have to pay. And which I've told them it's a load of crap, because it doesn't matter whether your partner owns a house, whatever it be, you still need to put money in. There's a thing called upkeep. We have to upkeep. Got to mow the lawns and take the rubbish out and clean things and wash a window here and there and wash the shower and all that. That's stuff the kids don't see. When I say kids, when they were growing up, when they were teenagers. But never once did my kids ever get on the computer trying to, I don't know, find what's the word I'm looking for here, Tone? Make money off being stupid on YouTube. Why? I mean, to me, the world is chaotic enough. The world is silly and stupid enough. Too much has changed. Too much has changed. For me, it seems to have gone from when I was younger, you never told anybody what went on at home. You did not speak about it. And if you did, you were the one, regardless of what the outcome was, regardless of what your pain was, you didn't tell anybody. So the police can come around and you might have a sprained ankle or a hairline fracture in one of your arms, but you shut your bloody mouth and no, nothing's going on here. I mean, they didn't need to be rocket scientists to figure it out. But, everything's changed. It's from that to share everything. Now, for me, I chose to share online, a platform as such. I don't like going to the 12-step fellowship meetings. I don't like them, and I don't want to make a blanket statement because each meeting is different. It's been a good probably nearly 20 years since I've been to a meeting. It'll probably be another 20 years before I even think of going. Very male-oriented. Men know where to breeze by, where to brush by their hand. Things like that to the individual, when pointed out, oh, I'm terribly sorry, I didn't mean that. There's a fucking room that they can walk around. Great big fucking room. Meters that they can walk. But they've got to brush past my bum cheeks. No, thank you. And like I said, that's not a blanket statement, because I have been to many meetings when there has been a lot of respect. But you will find, like many other places, give an inch, take a mile. And people in there thinking they're in their element helping somebody is just not in this case. It's just not. And as we speak, if I swing that back around to YouTube, I can see the downfalls, I can see the pitfalls, I can see the reasons for anonymity. There are certain things I would never ever go past a point of sharing for personal things, really personal things. And some people can sit back and go, God, why would you share that? Well, why not? Why not? Why can I not sit here and say to people how fucking cruel and nasty someone may have been in my life? Because obviously someone's listening, because I receive little notes of you are overthinking, or what was the one the other day? Oh, God, I can't think of the name of it. Basically, if that's what I choose to put my mind on, that's what I'm going to think about all day. And I don't get up every day and think, Jesus, what can I commiserate over today? I don't do that. I just don't. Somehow I feel like my mind is accustomed to it. I'm used to doing that. I don't think I can call it a saviour, but my mind is accustomed to doing that. And other friends can see it. Other people could see it. I was always so petrified when I'd have a friend stay. so petrified. Anyway, I didn't get on here to talk about him. I got on here to share my my bewilderment on how silly people can be, and depending on how many times people will look at them and how many people will subscribe to them, they get paid. They're doing silly bullshit, and I'm sharing my honest truth. They just don't weigh out. They just don't weigh out. I've always said I've never got on here to do that, as in to get money for the feedback. But when I hear someone talking about $50,000 a week or a month, for what? For sending in 10 or 15 minute whatever they do. I mean, teenagers being coerced or coaxed by adults to kiss, 12 and 13-year-olds. Yet people want to judge me for sitting here and sharing my life and areas of my life. I do this to survive. I do this, I share with you to survive. Not because I want to do something stupid. I could if I wanted to, but I don't really want to. It doesn't suit me. At school, it was always competitive. In the classroom, it was always competitive as who was the best, who was on top. When the sports carnivals were there, the swimming, the running, whatever it be, the competition was there. Even when you fall bloody pregnant, the fucking competition's there. And God forbid you have a natural labour with no drugs, the competition is definitely there. And then you got your competitions when people get married or engagement parties. Oh, they've got that, I wouldn't have that, I'd have that. I'd have something else, oh, I don't like them colours, I'd have these colours. And really? Is life so pitiful and so boring that that's all they can talk about? Yeah. Maybe I'm just not meant to understand these sort of things. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not meant to understand it. There is so much in life that I would love to learn. There truly is. I've just got to allow myself that chance to learn it, I suppose. I've just got to. I mean, I'm 33 years clean and sober. 33. My boy's father, he's 33 as well, as in numbers for sobriety, 33 years sober. And I struggled to grasp the concept of having one day without alcohol or drugs or overeating in my life. One day. What the hell is a barbecue without food? And if you don't like the food, go and eat the 21st cake. That'll suffice. I shouldn't be laughing at that one because that was my funny thing for yesterday. I don't know what my funny thing will be today, but I'm sure I'll come up with something. Yeah. Some days it would be nice to just get up and not think about that competitiveness. When I used to get up and I loved wearing makeup. I loved looking nice. I'd dress appropriately, becomingly, not always with heels, but clip clop, clip clop. And I felt comfortable. I felt really quite comfortable. And yet, the longer I'm in recovery, the less I feel comfortable. I've stopped wearing makeup since COVID, and this might sound quite trivial to some people, but for me it's a turnaround. It's a turning point, and it's great when that can happen. When anyone says to me, be it they've had a revelation, be it they have found something new that they want to learn about, that tells me that they're moving forward. I even shared with one of my sons last week. I said, mate, for me, to have my children and watch them grow past me and leave me in the dust, I've done my job. And he said, oh, Mum, it's not like that. And I said, well, it should be, matey. It should be. I'm not going to hold any of my children back from their life, from their options, their choices. They're all adults now. They can make that choice. But I'm not going to hold them back. I think it's wonderful when they can grow forward and giddy up along the way. It's fantastic. Unfortunately, I don't get to share that part with all of my children, and that's not because I don't want to. It's because they don't want to. I just pray that one day he will allow, or both of them will allow, me to be part of their life. More so sooner than later. I don't want to be on death's doors and then for them to turn up and say, g'day. I don't want to. I don't want to. I want to be able to live a life, and I don't think this has been selfish, that's selfless, that's, that I don't have to be selfish for certain things. Don't want to be selfish. Just want to be able to get up, be kind and appropriate when it's necessary, say hello to people when it's necessary, be cordial, but definitely not to compete. I don't want to compete. To me, if I'm trying to compete, I've left myself in the dust, and that's not a good move forward. It's not. I'm probably, stuck in the bloody dust mud puddle anyway. Yeah. I am very grateful to be clean and sober. I truly am. Like I said, I'm 33 years clean and sober. And it's not it's not easy. It's just not easy. Drugs are everywhere. Alcohol is everywhere. And I don't have to be everywhere. And I'm not. I'm somewhat a recluse at the moment. Yes, by choice. But finding a new meaning in life and being able to work that, to live it, to exonerate it basically in my life, to be productive in it in my life. To me, I'm halfway to China. Might sound really dumb. And I'm probably answering, that's why I'm stumbling over words at the moment. I'm answering my own questions. Yeah. The greatest person that I ever thought lived was my dad. And he just competed all the time. He competed all the time. It was like us against him. Not that we put ourselves against him, but it was like us and him. And then Mum. Yeah. Anyway, I think I've shared enough. But I will watch some more of them documentaries. I do find them quite interesting. They just go a little bit too quickly for me. I'm tired. I feel like I could have a bit of a snooze at the moment. Yeah, something funny. Something funny. What's something funny I can... When the boys, my 4 boys, were younger, my boy's father and I, we thought maybe if we go to church, it might help to keep a bit of stability in the house. So the first week we go to church, first weekend we go to the church, there was a point in time, now I don't want to offend anybody, but at this particular point, it was, hands in the air, that sort of thing, where they're waving and, God's coming into them. I don't judge people for that. If that's their style, that's their style. But the pastor or priest, I'm not sure what you call them, in those particular denominations, that I counted 26 times, he said, "Praise Jesus." Well, he said the 27th, and then on the 28th, God love my second son, he just went, the whole room just happened to go silent. He went, "Oh, for fuck's sake, will you shut up?" And my eldest son and I looked at each other and we got down behind the chairs. We were so embarrassed and could not stop laughing because, I have to be honest, as rude as what it was, it just sounded, it was very timely. For God's sakes, will you shut up? Well, he did shut up. The guy saying, "Praise Jesus," he did shut up. The next week, I had to go by myself because my partner was working. He worked night shift and that. So we've gone along, and it was coming up to, I think it's Lent, and they had this beautiful big array of food on the screen. It was on the table, and I must admit it really did look lovely. Someone had gone to a lot of preparation for this food to look as colourful and lovely as what it was. And it just happened to go really, really quiet. And my son, again, he's going, "Oh, fucking yum." But the word that stood out was the F. "Oh, fucking yum." And he was like singing it in his voice as he was saying it. Well, again, my eldest son and I dived, literally dived behind the chairs that were in front of us because we had about 700 people looking our way, and my son just sat there like it was nothing. "Hey, Mum, that looks really good, doesn't it?" That was my answer. That was the second week. The third week, this won't go on for much longer. The third week, I took the children because they had a great kids program. I do have to give them credit. They had a wonderful kids program. I took all three of the boys out there. My eldest wanted to stay with me, which is fine. And within 30 seconds, these ladies have come back and said, "Sorry, Tony, we can't find your boys." And then another lady had come along and say, "I'm sorry, Tony, but we can't find your boys." And then this fourth lady comes along like a matron and goes, "And 6 boxes of Tim Tams are missing." Oh, Jesus. I had to bite my tongue so I would not laugh, honestly. So we went and had a look everywhere. And for some reason, something in the corner of my eye was crawling around on the grass, the green grass outside. And when we walked outside, my 2 middle boys had jimmied up the tree with the 6 packets of Tim Tams. And the thing crawling in the grass was my youngest son. They'd drop him a Tim Tam and he'd crawl his little bum over there and he'd yum, 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 yum. He had chocolate all over him. It was just absolutely everywhere. And I said to the lady, "I will go and buy some new to I'll go and get some new, what do you call them, Tim Tams." "Don't bother," she says. "Don't bother." I said, "Oh, God, okay, I won't bother." I put the boys back in and I come back and quietly sit down and I said to my eldest son, "Oh, God, can we just sit here and listen? Like, can we just sit here and listen?" The last time we went, number 4, my third son, whatever they were doing, he did not like it. He stormed out. Didn't tell anyone, just stormed out. And apparently he was marching up the road. He had his arms swinging full pelt and he's marching, fucking, he's saying. And this police car came over and pulled up in front of him. He didn't take any notice of it. He just walked straight by them. The little roar of the siren or whatever still didn't take any notice. So the police had turned around and gone back again and sort of had to get out of the car to talk to him. And the passenger officer could hear I think it was 7 at the time, my 7-year-old son swearing and cursing, and I'm not fucking going back. I'm not fucking going back. And the officer says, where are you off to, mate? He goes, fucking home. I'm going fucking home. And the officer in the car's laughing. He said, well, where's home? That fucking way. Anyway, he said, where have you been? I've been to fucking church and I'm not fucking going back. He said, I fucking hate it there. I'll tell Mum and I'll tell Dad and I'm fucking not going back there. I fucking hate it. And started walking. And the officer said to him, would you like a lift? So he got in the back of the car and the officer goes, well, which way do I go, darling? He goes, that fucking way. Like just automatically assuming that this officer knew where he lived. Well, it just so happened that the officer did know where he lived because both my boy's father and myself, we were both employed in the welfare sector at that time. So he took him home, knocks on the door. My boy's father opens it and my boy just storms past. I'm not fucking going back there, Dad. I fucking hate it. I'm not going back there. And Dad goes, okay. And he looked at the officer and said, I'm so sorry. And the guy that was in the car said, oh, this is the best one yet, mate. He said, I don't know your name. He said, but I love your kid. He said, he's the funniest kid ever. If he wants to be a police officer, he'd do very well because he's very clear with what he's saying. And so my ex had a brief chat with the officer, and the officer just explained how my son had pulled himself up and F this and F that and F something else, and he's effing going home, and I lived that effing way, and all he could do was laugh. All he could do was laugh. Well, when my boy's father got to work the following day, 2 or 3 of the officers had called him and left a couple of, shall we say, comedic messages on the answering machine for my boy's dad at work. And the following Sunday, I got up and my boy's father looked at me, he goes, we're not trying the 5th time? And I went, no fucking way. No, I've learnt my lesson. No, I'm not going anymore. So that was our overrated, unembellished experience of church. And it all came from my boys, as innocent as what it was for them. Yeah, I chose to not go back. I read the Bible on the odd occasion. Doesn't make me a full-on Bible junkie. It just means that I believe in a lot of the philosophy in regards to Alcoholics Anonymous, as much as it may not specifically be based on the Bible. But yeah, they've got some bits and pieces out of it there. So, but as I've said before, I don't specifically run my life via a 12-step program. I just get up every day. I pray not to. I pray what to. And I try and get into bed at a decent hour so that I can go to sleep. Yeah. All right. I hope you have had a good day. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. It's just beautiful and sunny here. It truly is. I've done some gardening the last couple of days and it's been lovely out there. Lovely. All right. Take care. Talk time.